안녕! Welcome back! When you meet someone for the first time, it's always important to speak politely. But depending on your relationship and your age, you might end up being able to speak casually right away or much later. So for today's conversation, we have two people who are meeting for the very first time, but once they find out their ages, they both agree to switch to speaking casually to each other. So first, let's listen to the full conversation once, and then I'll go over it in detail and see what we can learn from it.
안녕하세요. 김준기입니다. 안녕하세요. 저는 최영재라고 합니다. 준기 씨는 나이가 어떻게 되세요? 저는 뱀띠요. 그럼 저랑 동갑이네요. 그래요? 여기서 뱀띠 보기 힘들었는데. 반가워요. 저도 뱀띠 친구는 오랜만에 보는 것 같아요. 우리 그럼 말 편하게 할까요? 그래요. 시간 지나면 말 놓기 더 힘들어지니까 그렇게 하자. 좋다. 맞아. 한번 굳어지면 말 놓기 쉽지 않아. 나는 동갑인데 몇 년 동안 깍듯하게 높임말로 대화하는 친구도 있어. 대박, 진짜 웃겨. 그런 사람들이 종종 있지. 그 친구는 교과서적인 바른 생활 사나이야. 근데 또 그런 사람들이 친해지면 진국이잖아. 맞아. 걔한테 많이 배우고 도움도 많이 받았어. 시작한다. 들어가자. 그래, 이것 좀 들어줘. 뭘 많이 샀더니 손이 없네. 이걸 전부 샀는데 5만 원밖에 안 나왔다고? 마침 세일 중인 게 많아서 진짜 잘 산 것 같아. 특히 고기. 뭐야, 이게 전부 다 고기였어? 여기 더 있어. 짱이다. 고마워. 덕분에 배부르게 먹을 수 있을 것 같아. 고맙다는 말은 나중에 요리한 건 먹어보고 그때 해. 요리도 잘하는 거야? 형으로 모시겠습니다. 들어가시죠, 형.
Okay, now let's take a look at this conversation one line at a time, and remember to take notes so that you can check them later on.
안녕하세요. 김준기입니다.
Hello, I'm Kim Jungi.
안녕하세요. 저는 최영재라고 합니다. 준기 씨는 나이가 어떻게 되세요?
Hello, I'm Choi Youngjae. How old are you, Jungi? Remember that 이라고 하다 means to say or to call, and is a common way to introduce your name to someone. Since it's used when introducing yourself, it's most commonly conjugated as 해요 or 합니다. Literally, this means I call myself, but more naturally, this form can translate as my name is. Also remember that using 어떻게, meaning how, with 되다, is a polite way to ask someone to tell you about something. Specifically, it's used for asking a person's name, age, or information about themselves or their family. Here, using it with 나이, meaning age, means tell me about your age.
저는 뱀띠요.
I'm a snake zodiac animal. While astrology is no longer popular in Korea among younger people, many Koreans still know which years are associated with certain zodiac animals. There are 12 zodiac animals, and they rotate in order once a year. 쥐, 소, 호랑이, 토끼, 용, 뱀, 말, 양, 원숭이, 닭, 개, 돼지. Knowing a person's 띠, meaning zodiac animal, is a simple way of knowing if they're older or younger than you within a range of 12 years, and thereby knowing how you can speak with them.
그럼 저랑 동갑이네요.
Huh? Then you're the same age as me? 동갑 means someone who was born in the same zodiac animal year, so they're the same age.
그래요? 여기서 뱀띠 보기 힘들었는데. 반가워요.
Yeah? It was difficult to see a snake here. Nice to meet you. 보기 힘들었는데 uses the form 기가 힘들다 and literally means that it's hard or difficult to do something. This can also mean that it's rare or uncommon to do something. It was rare to see a snake here.
저도 뱀띠 친구는 오랜만에 보는 것 같아요. 우리 그럼 말 편하게 할까요?
I also think I'm seeing a snake friend for the first time in a long time. Then should we speak comfortably? 오랜만에 uses 오랜만, meaning after a long time or a long time since, and the particle 에 to mean that someone does something for the first time in a long time. Here, 영재 is seeing another snake for the first time in a long time. More naturally, it's been a long time since I've seen a snake. 말 편하게 할까요? Literally means, shall we speak comfortably? By comfortably, this means casually, using casual speech. This is one way to politely invite someone who's the same age as you to speak casually.
그래요. 시간 지나면 말 놓기 더 힘들어지니까 그렇게 하자.
Okay, because it will be more difficult to lower our speech later on, let's do that. 시간 지나면 literally means when time passes, but more naturally means sometime later or just later on. 말 놓다 literally means to put down one's words, but more naturally means to speak casually.
좋다. 맞아. 한번 굳어지면 말 놓기 쉽지 않아.
Great, right. Once it fossilizes, it's not easy to speak casually. 한 번 으면 literally means if something happens, but can naturally translate as once. Here, once it sets. 굳어지다 means that something becomes hard or solid or sets. Here, 굳어지면 means if everything sets and becomes difficult to change. This is referring to speech levels, since it can be difficult to change how you speak with someone once you've established your relationship. Unless your relationship changes in some way you speak to someone else will usually stay the same.
나는 동갑인데 몇 년 동안 깍듯하게 높임말로 대화하는 친구도 있어.
I also have a friend who is the same age, but that I'm speaking to politely, with honorific speech for several years. 몇 means what number or how many, but when not used in a question can also mean a few or several. Here, 몇 년 means a few years or several years.
대박, 진짜 웃겨. 그런 사람들이 종종 있지.
Dang, that's really funny. There are people like that every once in a while. 대박 is a slang expression that can be used when the speaker feels that something's great or admirable or surprising. It should not be used in any polite speech. 웃기다 literally means to make someone laugh, but can be used to mean that something makes you laugh or is humorous or funny.
그 친구는 교과서적인 바른 생활 사나이야.
That friend is a textbook Boy Scout. Remember that talk can be used after certain words as descriptive verbs by attaching and conjugating the verb 이다. Here, 교과서, meaning textbook, can become the descriptive verb 교과서적이다, to be textbook, meaning that something is just like what a textbook would contain. 바른 생활 comes from 바르다, meaning to be right or to be honest, and 생활, meaning life or lifestyle. 바른 생활 사나이, literally honest lifestyle man, is a young man who always does what's right and can be naturally translated as a Boy Scout or a goody two-shoes, depending on the nuance of the sentence.
근데 또 그런 사람들이 친해지면 진국이잖아.
But also, if those kind of people get close with you, they're the real deal, right? 친해지면 is from 친하다, meaning to be close or friendly, and the 지다 form, and means to become close or friendly, or to get close or friendly with someone.
맞아. 걔한테 많이 배우고 도움도 많이 받았어.
Right, I learned a lot from him, and I got a lot of help too. Note that the verb ending 고, meaning and, can be left in the present tense, here as 배우고, since the sentence ends with the past tense. it's not necessary to use the past tense with 고, for example, 배웠고, except when adding emphasis.
시작한다. 들어가자.
Huh? It's starting? Let's go inside.
그래, 이것 좀 들어줘. 뭘 많이 샀더니 손이 없네.
Okay, carry this for me. I bought a lot of things, so I don't have any free hands. 더니 attaches to a verb stem. Here, it's used after the past tense of 사다, meaning to buy, as 샀더니. It can be used in two situations. First, it can be used when something is surprising or unexpected. For example, 하다 can become 하더니 and can then be followed by something surprising or unexpected. In this case, it can translate as and or but. Second, it can be used to mean because when something that happens is as a result of something else. This is how it's being used here. 샀더니 means because I bought, or I bought and as a result.
이걸 전부 샀는데 5만 원밖에 안 나왔다고?
You said you bought all of this? And it was only 50,000 won? 전부 can be used as both an adverb and a noun. It's commonly used with 다, meaning all, for more emphasis. 나오다, meaning to come out or to be released, can also be used to mean to come out to when referring to a price. Here, this means it only came out to 50,000 won? Or more naturally, it was only 50,000 won?
마침 세일 중인 게 많아서 진짜 잘 산 것 같아. 특히 고기.
Yeah, there happen to be many things on sale, so I'm really glad that I bought it, especially the meat. 마침 means something happens right during an opportunity and can translate many ways, including to happen to be, fortunately, and on time. 세일 중인 is from 세일, meaning sale or discount, 중, meaning the middle, and 이다, meaning to be. 중 can be used after certain nouns to mean in the middle of or while something happens. Together, 세일 중이다 means to be on sale. 잘 산 것 같아 literally means I think I bought it well. 잘, meaning well, can be used with an action verb in the past tense to mean that someone is glad that they did something or that it's good that they did something. More naturally, I'm glad I bought it, or it's good that I bought it, or simply, it was a great deal. 특히 has a similar meaning as 특별히, meaning in particular, especially, or specially, but is used to emphasize or point out something as being especially a certain way. Here, 준기 is especially glad that they bought the meat at a good price.
뭐야, 이게 전부 다 고기였어?
What? This was all meat?
여기 더 있어.
Yeah, there is more here. all is a common spoken way to say yes, just like 응. In addition, all is slightly stronger sounding than 응. Note that both 응 and all are casual and should not be used in any polite speech.
짱이다. 고마워. 덕분에 배부르게 먹을 수 있을 것 같아.
Awesome! Thanks! Thanks to you, I think I'll be able to eat plenty. 짱 or 짱이다 is a slang expression that can be used when the speaker feels that something's great or admirable. It has a similar meaning as 최고, meaning awesome or great. Unlike 대박, 짱이다 is only used in positive situations. 덕분, meaning because or thanks to, can be used after a noun when thanking someone for something. It can be used with 이다 or with the particle 에 with a verb. Here it's used like this. On its own, 덕분에 can be used at the start of a sentence to mean thanks to you. 배 부르게 먹다 literally means to eat so that one is full, or more naturally, to get stuffed.
고맙다는 말은 나중에 요리한 거 먹어보고 그때 해.
For saying thanks, say it later, after you try eating what I cook. 고맙다는 말 is a shortened version of the quoting form 고맙다고 하는 말 and means that someone says thank you. This uses 말, meaning word or speech, and can literally translate as the words saying thank you. 나중 means later, as in another time and not soon. It can add the particle 에 when it's used with a verb. Here, it's used with the verb 요리하다, meaning to cook.
요리도 잘하는 거야? 형으로 모시겠습니다. 들어가시죠, 형.
You're good at cooking too? I'll treat you as my older brother. Let's go inside, older brother. Note that 형, meaning older brother, can also be used by a male toward a close male friend who's older, in which it can mean an older male friend. The same applies to the words 오빠 for an older male friend to a female, 누나, an older female friend to a male, and 언니, an older female friend to a female. However, although these family titles can be used to older friends, they are not always used. Some people may feel uncomfortable using these titles or having them used to them, so feel free to discuss this with your older friend beforehand. 영재 switches to the formal 니다 form when he says 형으로 모시겠습니다 in order to be humorous, as if he's suddenly treating him extra respectfully as an older brother after finding out that he can cook well. 으시죠 is literally a polite command ending which comes from the honorific 으시다 ending and the 조 ending. It's also commonly used to make a polite suggestion to someone else and can mean let's. Now that we've gone over everything, let's listen to the full conversation one more time completely and try to follow along using what we've learned.
안녕하세요. 김준기입니다. 안녕하세요. 저는 최영재라고 합니다. 준기 씨는 나이가 어떻게 되세요? 저는 뱀띠요. 그럼 저랑 동갑이네요. 그래요? 여기서 뱀띠 보기 힘들었는데. 반가워요. 저도 뱀띠 친구는 오랜만에 보는 것 같아요. 우리 그럼 말 편하게 할까요? 그래요. 시간 지나면 말 놓기 더 힘들어지니까 그렇게 하자. 좋다. 맞아. 한번 굳어지면 말 놓기 쉽지 않아. 나는 동갑인데 몇 년 동안 깍듯하게 높임말로 대화하는 친구도 있어. 대박, 진짜 웃겨. 그런 사람들이 종종 있지. 그 친구는 교과서적인 바른 생활 사나이야. 근데 또 그런 사람들이 친해지면 진국이잖아. 맞아. 걔한테 많이 배우고 도움도 많이 받았어. 시작한다. 들어가자. 그래, 이것 좀 들어줘. 뭘 많이 샀더니 손이 없네. 이걸 전부 샀는데 5만 원밖에 안 나왔다고? 마침 세일 중인 게 많아서 진짜 잘 산 것 같아. 특히 고기. 뭐야, 이게 전부 다 고기였어? 여기 더 있어. 짱이다. 고마워. 덕분에 배부르게 먹을 수 있을 것 같아. 고맙다는 말은 나중에 요리한 거 먹어보고 그때 해. 요리도 잘하는 거야? 형으로 모시겠습니다. 들어가시죠, 형.
And that's all for this lesson. Remember that natural Korean conversations can range in difficulty from beginner level all the way to advanced. So take your time and practice everything in this lesson, and I'll see you again in the next lesson. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.